Hello and welcome to another episode of Arms Ranked. We've got some pretty good ones today. We've got John Dog, C, and Dentist Smiley. So let's just jump right into it. And I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like name redacted is just coming up a lot recently. Like, I don't know if it's just like I'm noticing it more, but I can't really remember the last time I went to Spring Stadium on Ranked. And, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, they are Ribbon Girl with double bird chucks. And they're using my favorite strategy. Just plow right through that pillar to land a rush on them. I mean, I know I complain about this sort of stuff a lot, like with all these birdchuck or hydra spammers. But to be honest, I don't actually have a ton of experience against these outside of party matches. And in party matches, oftentimes you have to like deal with another player, like in a team battle or a 3-player free-for-all, or you're fighting headlock or something. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to squeeze my way out of that one, which is why she was able to land it. Anyway, though, we're both in like that, I think, one hit away, but unfortunately she landed on me before I can do the same to her. So I switched to double Slamamanders because, you know, she's not going to charge him up, then I might as well just get a trade, because it is in my favor if it lands. But I'm not really getting many trades as of yet. I do go ahead and just use a straightforward slap to hit her, because figured obviously she's going to either go for a grab or rush. But so far, I'm assuming she's going for grabs, because she would have rushed by now if she was going for rushes. But after this, I was pretty confident that she was going to go for a rush, but she went for a grab instead, so I think I just reacted like almost instinctually, and think to the sound of like that, which let me allow her to waste her rush. Honestly, I think the stage wouldn't be as bad if you didn't have to jump up to the conveyor belt. Because that's another annoying thing is about the stage, why it just feels so unbalanced, is because there's very little room to dodge. Like, your arms are gonna hit the tubes a lot, but you've also got like nowhere to dodge to, because you're almost always either against the wall or against the tube or on the conveyor belt, just because of how the stage is designed. Luckily, I think the clapback came through. I'm not sure. Maybe she was just poorly spaced, and my shield doesn't even break, so I've just got to make sure not to get disabled. And I grab her off of her own ice. Unfortunately, the rush is not enough, but I'm pretty confident in my ability to land a single blow on her at this point, so I take the first game. On to the next game. We are going back to name redacted. I went ahead and just switched back to the Slamamanders because, I don't know, I guess I feel a bit more comfortable with that, and it's the first round. Not to mention, like, she seemed to handle the clapback fairly well. I mean, considering I don't really know how to use it, I'm pretty sure those chucks are going around it quite frequently. Luckily I'm able to block, but she gets this weird shield break and is able to get a grab. That was just stupid on me. If I had thrown the Slamamander the other way, it would have landed for the combo. But at least to destroy the tube, because these tubes are in a cycle, so I think there are 15 of them, and if you destroy a bunch of them, like, at once, like, let's say someone gets a grab, destroys 2, and then a rush comes out to destroy another, there will be, like, a fairly long period of time where there are just no tubes. And I go ahead and rush. I was pretty sure she was gonna grab that time because she goes for a grab like every time. I went ahead and switched to the clapback because if I lose this round, I can just switch back to the next round, and unfortunately the clapback doesn't come through. And if I win, then I win. So I guess there is a little risk in the sense that I'm kind of throwing around if this didn't work out, but yeah. Unfortunately, once again, I'm not able to escape the onslaught of Chucks. But even though, like, I'm in the red and she's not, I've still got, like, oh, thanks Slamamander for that hitbox. Literally went right through her. But she does have about twice the amount of life as me, but a few hits could change that very easily. And last 10 seconds, if she were to land a rush, it would be the end for me, at least for this round. And she's able to break my shield and just run away, so that's game or round 2. In round 3, I went ahead and switched back to the Slamamanders. I try to just burn off my rush as quick as I can. Unfortunately, it doesn't fully combo, but at least I get a 175, I think, was the damage. I'm trying out jumping a bit more because maybe, like, if I were to meet her in the air, it would fare a bit better. But it didn't really seem to be working out, especially not at a distance. Luckily, my Slamamander comes back in time for me to block, but I don't quite escape the rush fully. I think I jumped out to escape a shield break, but was just too cornered against the wall to escape. But I just hit her with a normal slap to finish her off, so good game. Next up is C. They were Min Min. We went to Temple Grounds for the first game. I went ahead and started off with a nade, and normally against Min Mins I might grab because, like, they're expecting me to punch to stop their dragon arm, but then I grab to get their shield, but that doesn't seem to work very often, so I figured it'd just be safer to go for a normal punch. What surprised me is how she opted to put the Slamamander on her left arm instead of the Roaster, because the Slamamander doesn't seem like it would have quite the benefits the Roaster would have. I mixed it up with a grab instead of a punch this time, because I don't think I've been going for that many grabs. But yeah, I think generally speaking, pretty much any glove on Min Min's left arm is really good, especially if it's something with a stronger element like ice or electric. But I finished this first round off pretty cleanly. She goes ahead and switches to double Roasters, which, oh boy, let me tell you, Roasters are not my friend. I think that's the last pillar gone now. Against Roasters, I just haven't really figured out, like, how to properly dodge them, because really it's like I'm either gonna dodge like straight, so forward, backwards, or just staying neutral, or I'm gonna go right or left, which means pretty much every punch they throw out has a 1/3 chance of going where I am, especially with Mechanica's bigger size. Not to mention the huge arm girth on the left roaster, or right from my perspective. And that's another thing about the roasters. This probably works with other arms and even like non-glove arms, but it really irritates me how you can get a almost guaranteed rush sometimes off of a single punch. I go ahead and switch to the clapback though, because it would offer me a bit more protection. And that might also catch them off guard. I think this player was ranked 18, so they might not have as much experience against the clapback as others. But I think I should be spamming it a bit less. I basically spammed it in their face, which didn't really work out, to be honest. Because like once it's there, all they need to do is like nothing, and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Especially if they're just blocking, like yeah, I grab. But if they're just blocking while my clapback is out, I can cancel it into a grab, but they could probably just react or even predict that. And yeah, they deserve to get that rush. I was way too close, and the clapback had a lot of end lag. I go ahead and try to land a rush. I'm disappointed the nade didn't connect, but the clapback at least has a lot of homing. So I noticed they're shielding a lot, so I go ahead and go for this grab, and another grab, and another grab, and they just all land. So I'm able to bring it back in like less than 10 seconds just by spamming grab. So I think just that sudden change in strategy caught them off guard just for long enough for me to take them out. So that was kind of exciting. I go ahead and switch to the nades though, because really the clapback wasn't working out for me. And maybe it was just strategy, but I think nades would work out better anyway. Even though they are sort of an easy arm to outbox. Like, they're fairly large in size, and they blow up in your face. As long as the opponent punches before I do, I'm gonna be eating my explosions. Unless I'm dashing backwards or we punch simultaneously. I do notice their shield is low, so I just go ahead and go for the shield break, even if it isn't optimal damage. Combined with chip damage, I'd say that was still about like maybe 180 to 200 damage. But yeah, I've just got to keep my eye on this big roaster, and like right there, I can't afford to overextend. She really could have rushed me there, but well, she ends up getting a rush anyway. I think I had just enough time because that was a late rush to block. Very risky grab. It's lucky that she guessed wrong as to where I was here, or aimed in the wrong spot. But I'm not even sure what happened there, actually. The explosion was blocking it. It might have been the explosion that finished her off. But an interesting thing, kind of an overlooked thing about explosions, I'd say, is how they're really good at being really annoying and blocking your vision. Like, if you're blocking and someone explodes their arm right in your face, or you punch and they block it so it explodes in your face, like there's just smoke right in front of your opponent, so now it's like a smoke bomb almost if it doesn't connect. And whenever like let's say I'm double nades against double tri-blast like last time, there were a lot of times when I just straight up couldn't see my opponent because of all the smoke. And yeah, there are like ways to cover up your punches, and I don't usually do it intentionally, but I think there probably have been times in which I've unintentionally covered up my punches with the explosions. But after defeating C, I think I was like just one match away from getting to rank 20, but unfortunately I run into John Dog, who is a very good player. I do not know why he's ranked 18. Like, I thought he was fairly well known in the ARMA community, or at least I knew of him beforehand. So, yeah. I think these stages may have favored him, or at least whenever we chatted a little bit afterward, at least he thought that these stages favored Bite and Bark. But I can see why, is Bite and Bark is a very more defensive sort of character, with Bark acting as kind of a meat shield and third support, especially against explosions. It's making it very difficult to just get in on him. And I forgot about Bark, so I grabbed because I just forgot that he gets in front of you whenever you block. And I couldn't see the dragon, actually. I think that Chilla blocked that, so that was pretty good, even if unintentional. So yeah, I'm pretty low on health. If I were able to like get some grabs on him, that was kind of awkward. Or if I were able to land a rush on him, I'd be able to take the round. But I didn't really get a chance to do that, unfortunately. So there goes round one. Round two, I went ahead and switched to double nades and run into my own tactic, grabbing right at the start. And I don't know if it's just like he's mixing it up or if I'm just really bad at this, but I'm like unable to read his blocks because it seems like he's blocking quite a bit, at least in the first round. Yet I just can't seem to get a good read on him. Sun OP, please nerf. Luckily, he's not able to get a grab on me this time. I'm getting kind of overwhelmed by all these punches coming from both him and Bark even. Like, honestly, I think this is the first Bite and Bark player I've run into on ranked in a very long time. The only other Bite and Bark player that I even know unranked, like I've seen unranked before, that like consistently unranked, is probably a Tutu Tropa, I think is how it's pronounced. I'm not totally sure. And there's also Happy Tune, which I know they use Bite and Bark, but I don't really see him unranked that much. Unfortunately, there's really not much I could do. Nothing short of like grabs and rushes, which I lack, would be able to finish this game off, so he takes game number one. Game number two, we go to Cinema Do. And not much else to say about that. I think this was especially a more favorable stage because against Bite and Bark or in the Dragon too, like jumping isn't really a great strategy. Yet, really the only way to do well on this stage, it seems, is to jump because you can't really get your punches over the cars without jumping. Luckily, my nade is able to cancel out his dragon. But if I were able to keep Bite or Bark down for longer, and that punch unfortunately was just a bit too late. If I were able to keep Bark down for longer and then get in on him, I don't think there'd be really that much he could do about it, but unfortunately I'm not able to do that. And just being overwhelmed by the onslaught of punches. Plus, I think he has the high grounder with that, those stairs. I guess I never really even noticed those stairs were there in the first place, or that they changed the elevation. But yeah, as you just saw there, like, I did not actually see the dragon because of the explosions in my face. And yeah, I'm trying to get around the car because trying to jump against the dragon arm is not a very good idea. Unfortunately, this grab is blocked by the car. Yet, I can't really get my punches over the cars. And unfortunately I get frozen, but I'm able just to punch his arms, and I was just hoping not to get perfected against him. But my shield's low and he goes ahead and rushes, so I insta-counter out of it and then jump to counter-rush him. And I think that was probably the best thing I did against him, because otherwise it's pretty much just me getting beaten up. And I think I also lost a bit of patience, like, not because I was frustrated with him, but more just frustrated with not being able to hit and being pressured a lot. So, good games, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.